of week 1. Today, we hinge. Day 1, we squatted. Belly tight, bum tucked in. Day 2, we pressed. Belly tight, bum tucked in. Day 3, we hinged. Belly tight, bum still tucked, but you're going to hinge back. We're not doing this. We're still staying stable, but we're going to allow our hips to go back. Notice my core doesn't move at all. I'm not breaking. Give me a second. Grab a broomstick. First things first, this is our spine. We're going to take our spine. It's going to be attached to our head. It's going to be attached to our upper back, and it's going to be attached to our bum. This is a perfectly straight spine, up and down. What I want you to do is shoot your hips back without breaking contact. So shoot your hips back. Allow your knees to bend, and then stand back up. Keep practicing this. Shoot your hips back without breaking. And squeeze your bum to stand back up. Squeeze your bum to stand back up. We are hinging at the hips without losing the integrity of your spine. This is where people go wrong and say deadlifts hurt your back. A deadlift is just picking something up off the ground without using your back. You are using your bum, your hamstrings, and your core stays stable to pick up a weight. So I want you to practice that over and over and over. You can pause the video and keep practicing. But if you've got it, let's move on to a weight, dumbbell, kettlebell, or a bag. We're going to deadlift. Our spine, remember that rod, is going to stay stable. We're not breaking. We're going to shoot our hips back. We have our weight in front of us, and we're going to squeeze our bum and unhinge at the top. The weight comes back down, belly is tight, squeeze our bum. Good. Now, did you notice if you were collapsing at the top, your shoulders? So I want you to reset. Bring those shoulders down and back. Reset your core. Squeeze your bum. Keep that belly intact. Don't let your shoulders collapse. And come back down. And up. Squeeze your bum as you stand. Squeeze. Weight comes back down, touches the ground, and squeeze. That is a proper hinge and deadlift. So keep practicing that if you need to. Hips go back, belly stays tight. If you have to go back to that rod on your back, then go ahead. Up. A couple of things that we tend to see is we tend to see people collapsing at the bottom and then kind of rolling their way up. We don't want that. We want a nice straight back, remember. So we don't want this. Another thing we tend to see is where they push the knees back and then hinge. We like to call that one the stripper. So again, what we're looking for is everything to move at the same time. As my hips unhinge, my knees unhinge. And then I shoot those hips back. I should feel tension in here. Shoulders are engaged, back is tight, and I squeeze my bum. So that is a deadlift. All that is picking something, anything up off the ground safely. So now we can add some movement to that. And that's where the kettlebell swing comes in. So now, let's go over the kettlebell swing. It is just a deadlift with movement, a dynamic deadlift. So let's start by putting the weight out in front of you, and I'll show you what a kettlebell swing looks like. Hike it back, up, back, up, back, up. And set it back out in front of you. So let's start by just putting the weight in front of you and hiking it back and putting it down. Do that a couple times. Hike it back, put it down. Next, we're going to hike it back and stand up aggressively. Then put it back down. Hike it back, stand up aggressively, and put it back down. Notice that when I hike it back and stand up, I just stand up fully. I don't shoot my hips forward. I'm staying nice and tall. I'm not breaking at the hips. Stand up, squeeze your bum, stand up straight. Don't overarch. Now, hike it back, stand up, and hike it back again, stand up, hike it back again, stand up, hike it back again, stand up. All I'm doing is a deadlift. It's my legs that are doing the work. My arms are just there to keep the weight from flying into my wall. And set it back down. And that is a kettlebell swing, which is simply the hinge of a hip. My hips stay tall the entire time. Often I see people doing a squat. If my knees are shooting forward like this, then I am squatting. A hinge of the hip. My knees stay in alignment with my toes. This is a hinge. That's a squat. Hips stay high in a hinge. Squat, hips drop low. And so there you go. We have a squat, we have a press, and we have a hinge. All three of them start with a tight core. Shoulders are down and back. Belly's nice and tight. Bum is tucked in. This is lower back injury waiting to happen. This is shoulder injury waiting to happen. So everything starts with core stability. Numero arm. All you're going to need is a kettlebell. We'll be doing 20 kettlebell swings. Remember, that's a hinge of the hips, so I want those hips going back. And then in between each 20 kettlebell swings, we'll be doing 10 reps of some form of core movement. So let's start with 20 kettlebell swings and just follow along, my pretties. So hinge back and let's go. Just place that kettlebell to the side. Now we're going to do 10 plank punches. So set yourself up, keep that belly tight, butt down, and punch. 1, 2, 4, 6, 7, punch nice and tall, 8, 9, 10. We don't want to be doing this kind of floppy thing. Nice and tight, keep the core tight. Good. Now, let's go back to our kettlebell swings. Set the kettlebell up in front of you, hinge and hip back, and let's go. Ten. 15, 19, and 20. We're looking for quality movements. It's not about speed. So now we'll do some cliff scalers. A cliff scaler is a push-up, and you'll walk. 1, 2, push up. 1, 2. So that was 2. 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9. I skipped one. Let's say this is 9. There we go. And 10. Ooh, you want to stay nice and tight the entire time. If you need a break, take it. Let's go. Kettlebell. And 20. Good. I was getting a little bit loose there, so I had to tighten up my abs again. All right, now we're going to do 10 ski abs. Back in a plank position, and you'll jump your feet in. That's 1. That's 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. Oh. Cardio. Core. Kettlebell. Speaking thereof, 20 kettlebell swings. All right. Wide mountain climbers. 10. And of course, that's per leg. What was I thinking? Nice plank position. And you're gonna run the feet out to the side, nice and wide. So that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This is our final set of mountain climbers, or kettlebell swings. And woo, final movement is a plank to T. Plank position, rotate up, squeeze the back. 1, 2, 3, 4, You can keep it on one side. So 7, 8, 9, 10. Don't forget, you have another side. 1, 2, 3, so 7, 8, 9. And last one, here we go. And last one was cheap. Let's do that again. There we go. 10. Here's a nice little scorcher that you can do at home with just a kettlebell. If you want to do a second round, by all means, go ahead, do a second round.